There's an old saying that goes, "A house is made of walls and beams, but a home is made of stories." And that's exactly what one elderly woman named June discovered when she decided to turn her bookstore into a community center. She was only 10 years old and was carrying a crumpled dollar bill in her hand. "Excuse me," she said politely. "I have $1. What's the cheapest thing I can get here?" As the months went on, June kept searching for ways to bring more people together. He looked around 18 and had a troubled look in his eyes. In the winter, the cozy interior became even more inviting, filled with the aroma of cinnamon and pine. The bookstore wasn't just a business for June. It was her way of giving back to a town that had welcomed her for over 20 years. It was a labor of love, fueled by the belief in the power of stories to heal and connect. The crackling fireplace added a warm glow to the room, making it a perfect spot to escape the cold weather. People from all walks of life found themselves drawn to the bookstore, eager to share in its magic. During the holiday season, June went all out, decorating the store with twinkling lights, a Christmas tree adorned with handmade ornaments, and garlands that intertwined with the bookshelves. The sight was enough to bring a smile to anyone's face. Once, during one of the story times, a young girl named Lily approached June after everyone else had left. She shyly asked, "Can I read a book to you?" June, taken aback by the request, responded with a surprised, "Oh, are you sure?" Lily nodded eagerly, then began reading, "Once Upon a Time, in a Faraway Land." June beamed with pride as she listened, appreciating the child's confidence. June noticed that he kept avoiding eye contact and seemed uneasy. Sensing his discomfort, she approached him and asked, "Can I help you, dear?" Tom jumped slightly, startled by her sudden appearance. The community rallied around the bookstore when June passed away. They held a grand celebration of her life, turning the store into a sea of flowers, photos, and well wishes. Everyone who had been touched by June's kindness came to pay tribute to the woman who had made a profound impact on their lives. After the funeral, the townspeople gathered together to decide what to do next. They didn't want Maple Lane Books to close. It was too important to the community, so they decided to keep it open, taking turns managing the store to ensure it remained a source of comfort and joy for everyone. And so, the legacy of Maple Lane Books continued on, not just as a bookstore, but as a symbol of the power of community and the enduring impact of one woman's kindness. I just needed a book," he mumbled, looking at the floor. "What can I help you find?" June asked gently. I don't really know," Tom replied. "What do you recommend?" June smiled warmly and suggested a book called To Kill a Mockingbird. As Tom read the story, he felt a connection with the characters, especially Scout, a young girl who faced prejudice and learned valuable lessons about empathy and justice. He found himself relating to Scout's journey of self-discovery and the challenges she overcame. The more he read, the more he felt a sense of hope and resilience. He began visiting the store daily, spending hours reading and drinking the hot cocoa June made for him. One day, Tom approached June and expressed his gratitude for her kindness. "Thank you for being so nice to me," he said. "I don't have anyone else who cares about me." June embraced him warmly, knowing that she had made a difference in his life. Through Tom's transformation, June realized the profound impact her bookstore had on the community. She had created a haven where people felt accepted and supported. Every day brought new faces and new stories, each person finding solace and connection within the walls of Maple Lane Books. She organized poetry readings, book clubs, and even hosted a weekly game night. She also started offering free story time for children every Saturday morning, which quickly became a favorite event for the younger members of the community. During these sessions, she would read classic tales like Hansel and Gretel or The Frog Prince, captivating the children with her soothing voice. The children would sit mesmerized, their eyes sparkling with wonder as she brought the stories to life. One particular day, a young boy named Liam stopped by. He was only 6, but he had a serious demeanor that hinted at a sadness deeper than his years. As June sat him down to read, she sensed there was more to him than met the eye. After finishing the story, she asked him, "Would you like to hear another tale?" "Liam," He nodded quietly, still lost in his own thoughts. June chose a story about a brave knight who overcame many obstacles to save a princess. As she read, she noticed a flicker of interest in Liam's eyes. He seemed more engaged, asking questions about the knight's bravery. Seeing this reaction warmed June's heart. She continued reading until it was time for Liam to go. Before leaving, he thanked June for the stories, admitting that he enjoyed them. And with that small interaction, a bond formed between the young boy and the kind bookstore owner. June knew that through stories, she could touch young hearts and maybe help them heal a bit. June, who was 69, looked at the girl and smiled warmly. "What's the matter, honey? Is your mom expecting you to cheer her up?" Ella nodded shyly. "My mom has been so sad since Dad died. I wanted to get her something nice, but I didn't know what." June put a finger on her chin and pretended to be thinking deeply. Then she suddenly got up and went behind the counter. A few seconds later, she returned with a small paperback book. "How about this?" she asked. Ella took the book and saw that it was a classic called Charlotte's Web. She opened it up and began reading. "Charlotte's Web," she said. "Oh, this is a good one. Thank you so much. Do you think it will make Mom feel better?" June nodded gently. "It's a good one for when you need some hope." "Okay," Ella said, giving the lady a big smile. "Thanks again." As she watched the girl leave, June couldn't help but think to herself, take care of each other. It all started when a young girl named Ella walked into her store one day, and those words soon became her motto. You see, June wasn't just a bookstore owner. Her shop, called Maple Lane Books, was her passion. She had spent many years collecting old, rare, and classic books, and she loved nothing more than helping people find the perfect story to dive into. But it wasn't easy running a small business, and lately, sales had been slow, which meant she had less money to spend on new inventory. However, when she heard about Ella and her mom, June knew that if she could help bring joy to others, everything else would fall into place. So she started reaching out to local families and inviting them to come to her store for a cup of coffee and a chance to relax. At first, nobody came. She sat in the store alone for weeks, wondering if anyone would ever walk through her doors. But then one day, a man named Robert stepped in. He had seen June's sign and thought he would surprise his wife, Margaret, with a romantic evening. He had no idea what to expect when he entered the store, but he immediately felt at ease. June greeted him with a warm smile and offered him a freshly brewed cup of coffee. Together, they browsed the shelves, and Robert eventually found the perfect book for his wife, a collection of poetry by her favorite author. Weeks went by, and soon more and more people started visiting. Families would come in on weekends and stay for hours. Soon, June's bookstore wasn't just a place to buy books. It became a place to unwind, to listen to stories, and to find comfort. And it was Yuan long before everyone in town was talking about the magical little store on Maple Lane one evening. A young man named Tom entered the bookstore. As seasons changed, so did the atmosphere of the bookstore. Through the years, Maple Lane Books became a cornerstone of the community, a place where generations of families came to find their next favorite story, and most importantly, a place where they found a sense of belonging. And in the end, that's exactly what happened.